To understand the chakras, we must first understand what yoga is. Yoga is a system of self-development that allows us to experience ourselves in order to discover our own truth about who and what we are. Yoga does not lay down any dogma or theory of what we should experience. Rather, it is a system that gives us the techniques to discover our own experience of the truth. Yoga is a process of self-discovery. We explore our own body and mind, our own personality, our strengths and weaknesses, and our own abilities, and our connection to higher consciousness. The body-mind is the living laboratory, and our own conscious awareness is the tool we use for exploration. It is awareness that allows us to actually feel more of who we are. Once we can feel things, we can develop direct experience and knowledge, and this leads to deep understanding, wisdom, confidence, and joy. The techniques of yoga allow us to bring about balance within the body-mind. They help us to re-establish a connection and a mutually satisfying relationship with life at all levels. Yogic methods exert pressure onto the body-mind in order to awaken feeling. One yogic method is the use of postures to put pressure onto the body using mechanical force. Or we can use sound vibrations as is done with mantra chanting. Another method is to use the breath to consciously increase the level of prana, the life force, within the body-mind, or to direct the prana to a specific physical structure or mental process. Increasing prana allows us to feel and understand what is going on in us. This also begins a process of purification and healing, strengthening and awakening. Yoga must be performed systematically over a period of time. In the same way that it takes time to learn to play a musical instrument, it also takes us time to learn to use our most important instrument, the body-mind. It also takes time to explore how to apply the changes induced by yoga into our lives in a balanced way. Yoga gives us maps and guidelines we can use to make this process safe, continuous, and joyful. Over time, we feel empowered through knowledge, wisdom, and intuition to be self-directing in our own spiritual and yogic path. Yoga rests on an accepted body of knowledge that provides a comprehensive description of the human body and mind. This science is called yogic physiology and yogic psychology. Yogic physiology and psychology provide us with the knowledge required to apply yogic techniques in a meaningful and effective way, with a conscious sense of what we are aiming to do, and the ability to feel if we are moving in the right direction. For example, yogic physiology tells us that the human body has various psychic centers and channels that are the basis for higher experience. These centers are called chakras, and the channels are called nadis. Of the 72,000 nadis or channels, 3 are given the highest importance. All 3 lie within the spinal cord. The first of these is named Pingala Nadi, the channel that carries prana or vital life force. The second is called Ida Nadi, the channel that carries mental energy. These 2 nadis carry the energy required to power the body-mind, the individual existence. The third nadi is named Sushumna, the channel that carries spiritual force. This is the highest and most sublime energy that is required to fuel spiritual and universal experience. Within the Sushumna Nadi, in the spinal cord, lie the psychic centers called the chakras. A chakra is a psychic center that controls all of our physical and mental functioning. Each chakra can also give us access to the spiritual dimensions of our being. There are 7 main chakras that are located between the base of the spine to the top of the head. 6 chakras regulate all of our human functions and experiences. The 7th, called Sahasrara, lies at the crown of the head. It regulates our experience of the transcendental realms beyond normal human experience. The lowest chakra lies in the animal instinctive realms of the human psyche, the lowest rung of human evolution. As we move upward, we ascend the hierarchy of instincts and drives from the gross animal drives of survival and procreation upwards to the heart, and then into the highest realms of sublime human thought, reasoning, and spiritual knowledge. To practice Chakra Shuddhi, purification of the chakras, it is important that you are familiar with the names and locations of the 7 chakras, and also an 8th point located at the top of the head called Bindu. Each name of the chakra has a mantric quality, which means that merely repeating the name and focusing awareness at the area of the chakra has an uplifting and awakening effect. Starting at the base, the names of the chakras are Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anahat, Vishuddhi, Agya, Sahasrara. There is an 8th point that lies between Agya and Sahasrara. It is called Bindu. Bindu is not a chakra, but is an important psycho-spiritual center. All the chakras are located in the spinal cord except for Muladhara, the base chakra. Except for Muladhara, each chakra has a trigger point called Akshetra, located on the front of the body, and which is used to help locate the actual chakra in the spine. Muladhara is located in the pelvic floor, in the female body just behind the cervix, and in the male body in the middle of the pelvic floor close to the prostate. It does not have a trigger point. Swadhisthana is in the sacrum, the shield of bone between the buttocks. Its trigger point lies just above the pubic bone in the abdominal wall. Manipur lies behind its trigger point in the navel. Anahat lies behind its trigger point in the area of the breastbone. Vishuddhi lies behind its trigger point in the throat pit. Agya lies behind its trigger point at the eyebrow center. Bindu lies at the back of the top of the head. Sahasrara lies on or hovers just above the crown of the head. Each chakra controls certain functions at the physical, mental and spiritual levels of our being. Muladhara and Swadhisthana chakras both control the pelvic area, sexual and reproductive function, and the kidneys. Muladhara also controls basic survival, the will to live, and basic material security. Swadhisthana controls joy. Manipur controls the digestive system and our vitality, as well as the resilience to face the stresses of life with determination and self-discipline. Anahat controls the chest, heart and lungs, and our feelings of love and compassion, our sense that another being is also an individual with needs like us. Vishuddhi controls the throat area and communication, the ability to take thoughts and to turn them into language so that others can know what we are thinking and feeling, a remarkable skill. Agya controls the whole brain and nervous system, as well as our mind and all our mental functions, including the senses, thought, intuition, our sense of identity, our sense of purpose, and our sense of connection to the higher mind and consciousness. Agya Chakra is called the command center. It is the link between the individual and the cosmic existence, between the little self and the higher self. Agya is the center at which we can hear the voice of our intuition or the inner guru guiding us. It is very important, therefore, to purify Agya Chakra, and it is strongly advised that we initiate our journey of purification of all the chakras at Agya in order to awaken the third eye of intuition. As a result of this, we develop an expanded sense of who we are and see our purpose in life, in relationship to the universe beyond this little life. This helps us to face life with great courage, understanding, creativity, spontaneity, and awareness. Each chakra has certain physical, mental, and spiritual attributes, powers, abilities, and functions. The attributes, powers, and abilities located in each chakra are said to be either asleep, in a dreaming state, or awake. If they are asleep, the chakras are present and functioning, but we cannot feel them. They are not working under our conscious direction and simply act as and when they want to. This means that our mind exerts unconscious influence over us, making us do what it wants us to do. In the sleeping state, we are not the master of the mind. The mind is master of us. And because of the power of the unconscious, we do not even realize that this is happening. In this condition, each chakra is likely to be in an undeveloped state. This state is likened to an animal existence. The dreaming state is the human condition, in which some of our abilities are active and some are dormant. In this condition, we become aware that the subconscious and unconscious areas of our lives have an influence over us. We become aware that we have strengths and weaknesses, and as a result of our weaknesses and the ensuing suffering, we begin to desire change. Suffering fuels our spiritual search. The awakened state is a fully evolved consciousness, fully self-realized, and fully self-actualized. All the chakras are activated and awakened in this state. It is the ideal that we aim for, to activate and harness the total power of our human condition. In the awakened state, we are able to consciously direct our lives. This is true bliss and freedom. The awakened state is likened to a divine state of existence. The chakras are fully developed and actualized, glowing and luminous with knowledge so that they can be fully experienced. The practice of Chakra Shuddhi, that is, the process of purifying, activating and awakening the chakras, will help you to move towards the awakened state. Chakra Shuddhi is part of the journey towards developing a mature and conscious relationship with your deepest self. This process of self-discovery gives a sense of deep joy and a capacity to access our inner strengths and abilities and to be self-reliant. You will begin to feel that there is more to your existence than you might have previously thought. You will begin this journey by purifying and activating two of the most important chakras, Manipur chakra, which governs health and vitality, and Agya chakra, which gives us the capacity for knowledge. It is only when we have vitality generated in Manipur and knowledge gained through intuition in Agya that we can proceed with our higher journey. It is also important to know that by working on any one chakra, we also affect all the other chakras. However, the safest and best way to proceed in our work with the chakras is to develop strength in Manipur and higher knowledge in Agya.